Hello, I'm Balázs Tóth. I'm 26 years old, working for ÖBB Personenverkehr in the department Fleet Management. There I'm responsible for innovations, project management in our rolling stock tenders and system technology. That means overarching technical topics concerning not just one but more of our rolling stock fleets. Just to name a few examples like train protection systems, cab radio, ETCS, energy efficiency, different operational innovations regarding our rolling stock, and also some decarbonization measures. And in this function, together with my colleagues, I also represent a company in Europe's rail joint undertaking. As for my background, I've graduated from the Vienna University of Technology with majors in mechanical and industrial engineering and specializations in transportation engineering, project management and rail vehicles. In my free time, I like flying gliders and also single-engine piston aircraft. I also like to spend time in free nature, going hiking, cycling, maybe swimming and most recently scuba diving. As you probably figured out, I like complex environments, complex situations where you have to be very present in your mind, but share your focus on a variety of different things.
Hello, my name is Markus Pfister. I'm 31 years old and I've been working for the ÖBB since 4 years now in total in the Department of Engineering. So that's the entity in charge of maintenance, and as you can see, we're in a maintenance facility right now. My background is mechanical engineering, and for hobbies I choose to have some crazy hobbies like flying, but I also just like to see my friends, family. I like to go skiing also, like a typical Austrian. And now I'm also involved in the European Railways Joint Undertaking Work Package number 7, which is in Flagship Area 3, where I work for the standardized European railway checkpoints.
Well, there's one very simple skill that I use in my career, in my daily job, and which is also, according to my feeling, also much appreciated by my colleagues, and it's listening. So all my colleagues and superiors know me for not dominating the meetings, but rather observing and listening a lot in the beginning and seeking to first understand the standpoint of others before expressing mine. So before expressing my input, I only like doing it if a few conditions are met. Just like an engineer, I work on the basis of conditions. So the first one is that I have a clear opinion on a topic and I'm confident regarding my expertise. The second is that my opinion hasn't been said yet by others, so that I don't repeat what has already been said. And the third is that if I believe that my opinion, my input is really valuable and relevant for the outcome of the specific discussion or situation. So while this might sound funny, I've found that most of our communication and meetings could be way more efficient by sticking to similar principles.
My most useful skill which I have developed is the creative art of engineering, I would say. It's the art of breaking down a problem into its subcomponents and finding a very creative solution or more variants of a solution, let's say.
Well, for me it's probably becoming more patient, because sometimes I'm still frustrated by the slowness, by this present inertia that is very present in the industry, especially when it comes to innovations or change processes, which are very significant topics of mine. And while this might be true for many, if not all industries, I found that it is very, very prominent and characteristic for the railway sector. On the other hand, I would not only like to become more patient, but to learn the skill of motivating others and convince them about the benefits of something new, and therefore by this skill driving innovation forward.
So I want to learn how to deal with the complexity of a big corporation like the ÖBB, because we have a lot of interfaces which are somehow connected, but it's not only enough to nail down a technical problem into different categories, but it's also important to always keep the interfaces of different companies in mind if you want to find a solution. Because what if a camera is owned by one company, but the computer with the algorithm is owned by another one, and you not only have one technical interface, but maybe a law interface, an organizational interface. And that's something I want to practice here in the ELGU too, because a lot of companies are involved, obviously.
It can be summarized as better is the enemy of good enough. With that I mean, if you're coping with a high workload, a lot of deadlines, different tasks, high expectations towards yourself and the work that you want to deliver. And in this process I learned that in order to get to 90% of your desired quality standard, it goes easy and quick. However, the remaining 10% to get to 100%, which consists mostly of just tiny small adaptations that others might not even notice in most of the cases. It takes just as much time and effort as it took to get to 90%. So to be honest, I'm still struggling to find a good balance here. My experience, what definitely helps me is receiving positive feedback from my colleagues and also my superior, kind of as a validation that some work that I've done was delivered good enough, even if it was just 90% in my eyes.
That's easy, it's time management, because the more you need to do, the more you need to organize yourself. And this is sometimes a very hard challenge.
It's analytical thinking combined with a strong result orientation in order to get to a solution quickly, which has to be on the one side a good solution, on the other hand a satisfactory one for all of the parties involved. And I like to do it by staying out of any emotions, not getting involved in any blame games or finger pointing, but really working towards the solution on a straight line, if it's just possible.
My analytical abilities, I would say, because they come almost natural if you're an engineer, but also communications, dealing with a lot of colleagues, and like the interfaces topic I discussed before, you need a lot of communication. And sometimes you need to go out of your field and connect with someone else and their view of things. And this is something which is very important.
What I consider as an asset is it's a mixed knowledge, a mixed know-how of both very well engineering and the operational side. That means that understanding of both your technology, but also according to which rules and standards your technology, your rolling stock is essentially used outside on the track. This is something that, in my opinion, you cannot learn in college, just in college. You need experience, gaining your own experience, but also learning from your colleagues that are in the industry for a long time. So that's the skill set or the know-how I'm seeking for in my daily work.
So I would divide this into three categories. On the first category, on the administrative level, I would say you need two skill sets in particular in combination, which is the technical knowledge combined with law, because we are a very heavily regulated industry. And if you come from the university and you studied mechanical engineering, probably the last thing that you know is about the regulations here. A second thing, which is often neglected if you are an industrial engineer, is that you often have a background in the automotive industry. And not all the things are necessarily applicable here in this field. So that's something we need to improve on in the future. And lastly, I want to mention that a lot of blue-collar workers are leaving the workforce, and they're often very highly skilled and valuable people. And these craftsmen are mostly needed because, but it's a huge challenge in society in general, and it's not only applicable here in this field, but also for the whole technical industry.